Hi, my name is Tony, and in this video you're gonna learn how to saddle stitch using 2 needles, how to cross stitch if you've never done it before. I'll show you how to finish edges, and I'll even show you how to wedge shape leather a little bit. And yeah, you will also learn how to make this in 2 sizes, with or without the side pockets. Just look at that. This is money right here. I used 5 ounces chrome tan for the main body and some of the leather inserts here, and 7 ounce vegetable tan leather for the pockets, for the flap, for the back, for the straps, and everything else. There will be a full list of hardware as well somewhere in the instruction files, so check out the first link in the video description to get the pattern and all the materials ready so we can start working. Because this is a longer video, I will skip the usual introduction where I show you how to print, assemble the paper pattern and cut all the leather pieces you're gonna need, but I will leave a link in the description in case you need to watch it. And if this is the first time you are delighted by this pretty face, I strongly advise you should watch this video. So, assuming you downloaded the pattern and used it to make everything you need, we can get cracking. Here is a quick run through all the leather pieces, except the straps. We're gonna make those later. You're also gonna need a few pieces of metal hardware for this backpack, and if you don't want to run around looking for everything everywhere and hope they will match what you need, I will put together a hardware kit for you exactly like this one. And you can get this from my hardware shop on Etsy. Check out the link below, because that's where I sell hardware kits just like this for a lot of my bags, and they're great quality hardware. I know that for a fact because that's exactly what I use in all my builds, guaranteed. Anyway, enough of that, let's stitch something. And let's start with something simple. The zipper. Yes, you heard me. Stitching zippers, it's very easy, and I will show you next why. First, trim it to the exact size you need, which is about 7 inches for the big backpack and 5.6 inches for the small one. Now, remember to melt the ends so the thread doesn't run off later. Next, apply some cement glue on the back along the stitching edge. Flip the leather over and carefully place the zipper underneath. Now, make sure it's all lined up, alright? Let the glue dry for a little bit, and we can continue after. At this stage, punch the stitching holes into the zipper like I'm doing here. You can't see it in my picture, but the leather already has the stitching holes made, so I will use them to do the same on the zipper. Next, simply stitch the zipper onto the leather, because that glue won't be strong enough to hold the zipper attached to the bag on its own, obviously. You can't see it yet, but I have a few books on the one side of the leather, so it makes my stitching easier. Also, very important, do not pull the thread too tight if you want to avoid waves and ripples into your zipper. When you are done, trim off the excess material and you're ready to continue. I told you it was gonna be easy. Before you continue, stop for a moment. The backpack can be tightened at the top by making a few stitches here on the sides. Now, if you aren't a big fan of this particular design choice, I have some great news. The pattern will have holes marked to close the top with a string. So choose either method, but not both, all right? Also, in case you're going for the string method, I got a confession to make. The zipper isn't absolutely necessary. Now you tell me, yes, because I wanted to show you there is nothing to it. Attaching zippers is easy. You're welcome. Now, seriously, have a look at both designs and choose the one you like. Folded sides or stringed top. I will show you how to do either. The folded design is very easy. Just watch me do it. 3 folds on each side. If you want to use the string instead, just make the holes where I marked them on the pattern large enough to accommodate your string and you are good to go. I advise you use some eyelets where you make the holes. The hardware pack I will offer will of course have those eyelets included. Moving on, let's attach this large piece right down the middle here. Again, see how useful books can be. I guess my teachers were correct. Books can be useful after all. After you finish your stitch, use a few rivets to attach the closing buckles. We are done for now, so let's assemble the back next. And we're gonna start with this top bit here. Here is where you understand why choosing the proper leather is ever so important. If this would have been any softer, it would look awful. No rigidity, nothing here. I actually recommend getting the toughest vegetable tan leather you have for this particular piece here, or even adding an extra layer for strength. My 2 7-ounce pieces will suffice, so I will start stitching them along this line here and this one over here. Once you are done, you might want to consider finishing those edges to make them all smooth and water resistant. Use some sandpaper or a Dremel to even out those edges. Next, use an edge beveler to, what else? Bevel the edges, yeah? Do that. Next, rub some Toconol or even water if you don't have anything else and burnish the edges till they turn this nice shiny caramel color. Alternatively, you can use edge paint to seal them, but for this particular leather, I think this looks much nicer. I hope you didn't stitch this line here, because this is where we're gonna insert the main body of the bag. I will use these stitching pins at both ends and then start stitching along this line here. Now it's very important, start from here, go around here, and then when you get here at the top, we will add the flap to the mix as well. Okay, now that you are done, let's attach those fancy D-rings holders here and here. Some of you may recognize this design from the apron pattern I released a while back. These two come here and this double one fits at the top here. Attach this piece first and only after insert the D-rings and flip the leather on itself. I gotta say, they look sick. Look at that, beautiful. Time to start with the bottom. But before we do, let's shape that bottom a little bit. Simply get a bowl of water and a sponge and try and get the edges of this particular piece bent at 90 degrees like I'm about to do here. Basically, try and form a tray-like shape the best you can with the leather bent along the stitching holes. Now, don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect because design finds a way. Next, grab this long thin strip and start stitching it along one of the edges like I'm about to. Make sure the flesh side is on the outside. By flesh side I mean the rough part of the leather.
such a long time since I felt this good on my own. 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 Baby, I ain't born to run, and I don't belong to wait.
You can apply a bit more water and then try to get this to a uniform shape all around.
Be gone, let the sun go down in another race. You tell what you want, riding all the haze. Put your hand in my hand in between my thighs. Let the sun go down in another race.
Next, we need to loop this piece with the cross stitch here. Now, if this is your first time attaching leather like this, watch my fingers closely. It's good to know before you start, it only works with leather at least 2mm thick. That's about 4 ounces and 5 ounces even. And you really need to pull the threads constantly to get a nice result.
For one night, when tomorrow comes, you know I'll be gone. Yeah, I'll be gone. Yeah, I'll be gone. Yeah, I'll be gone. Let the sun go down in another race. You tell what you want, riding all the haze. Put your hand in my hand in between my thighs. Let the sun go down in another race. Let the sun go down in another race. Tell what you want, riding all the haze. Put your hand in my hand in between my thighs. Let the sun go down in another race. Midnight confessions. Midnight confessions. Midnight confessions. You wish that midnight confessions. Midnight confessions.
Why is this called a cross stitch? Because the thread will form a cross either on the back or at the front, wherever you choose to, whatever you like. And this is how you close a cross stitch. Basically form a tight knot at both ends like this, trim it short and melt the ends off with a lighter. Great things can be achieved with this particular type of stitching, like this amazing bowler hat I made a while back. And yeah, once you're confident with your cross stitching, you can even attempt that. Not that hard. Next, let's attach the bottom to this piece. Now, just be advised, if you choose to build a backpack with no pockets, this particular piece will look slightly different, and namely it won't have a place to attach the pockets in question right here. Now it is kind of important to attach this right out the middle of each side, okay? And I'll have the centers marked on the pattern, but if you forget to mark them down on your pieces, spend a few seconds and determine where the center is, and then attach them accordingly. Once you center them properly, use some paper clips to hold everything in place and start your stitch all around. And this is the precise moment when you finish your stitch and realize every hole matches. Praise be! But that's only if you follow the pattern precisely. Don't add, don't subtract holes on your own. That's not how this works. Now remember this? The same here.
Happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hope.
At this stage, if you went for the version with pockets, keep following my tutorial. If you went for the clean version, no pockets, easy mode activated, skip a few minutes ahead till you see I am done with this too. If you're still with me, let's continue by wet shaping those small gussets into an S-like shape. Here, let me show you.
I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things we know. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you.
Then just attach the front first.
What if you were gone to someone else, so we could never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me. May I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me now? What if you were gone to someone else, so we could never be the same? How can I make up for my sins? Now I'm lonely and it kills me.
A bit more wet shaping to really get that pocket shape the best we can. And then stitch the pocket to the sides here. The flap comes next, and he has his own separate stitching line right at the top here. you're gonna need to mark the hole for this sun brown button and then screw that in tightly. And that's one pocket done. Now coffee break and then the next pocket, because you know stereo is better. Now the time has come for the longest stitch. So go grab a patient sandwich and have at it. Took me about 2 hours to finish this stitching alone. So you know, go find my playlist on tool reviews, start watching, start stitching, and you know, good luck. Once you've finished, you need to attach the closing straps as well. I used 4 9mm rivets. And your backpack is almost ready. If you want to place your maker's mark, I will leave this triangular shape in the pattern pages, but it is your maker's mark, and use whatever you normally use. I designed it, but you made it, and your customer needs to know that. But this is not a briefcase. Gonna wanna throw this on your back. So now we're gonna make these, the straps, 2 of them, completely identical. And when you're done, you got yourself the coolest backpack ever. If you made it this far, you either liked watching, in which case hit the like button, or you needed to watch, in which case my videos are of great help to you, obviously. So click the subscribe button. But you know what? Best to click both just to make sure. Hit the bell as well, so next time we release another video, you won't miss out. Thank you so much for watching and stay close. I got some amazing plans for the very near future. Peace.